Today, we joyfully celebrate not only your achievements as UTEP students, but also your many anticipated accomplishments as UTEP alumni and members of a fast-growing minor nation, rich in tradition and even richer in promise. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Hello, I'm Diana Natalicio, President of UTEP. I invite you to join us on a journey through a century of UTEP's achievement and opportunity creation for the more than 100,000 graduates who have gone on to wonderful professional careers in Texas and across the globe. With our unique commitment to access and excellence, the University of Texas at El Paso has gained a national reputation for creating opportunities for young people in this Paso del Norte region and enabling them to become everything that their aspirations would lead them to. The university itself is fast on its way to becoming the first national research university with a 21st century student demographic. So let's enjoy together a look back at the 100-year history of the University of Texas at El Paso.
From its founding in 1914 as the Texas State School of Mines and Metallurgy, to its role today as a premier research and instructional facility serving an international community, the University of Texas at El Paso has always been an innovator. Its earliest administrators, faculty, and students, all 27 of them, were a combination of risk-takers, dreamers, and hard-working, result-driven professionals committed to providing world-class educational opportunities for a hard-scrabble community which too often stood at the margins of higher education and of society itself. These early educators created this university from the ground up, never afraid to try something new. Nothing symbolizes this more than the university's architectural motif. This new mining school set in the arid mountains and mesas of West Texas wasn't modeled on the Gothic brick of the Ivy League or even the traditional Spanish style of the region. Instead, the first new construction in 1917 was modeled on the traditional architecture of the Kingdom of Bhutan, high in the Himalayas, inspired by, of all things, photographs from a 1914 edition of National Geographic magazine. The School of Mines' first site was adjacent to the U.S. Army's Fort Bliss, using a few repurposed buildings from the former El Paso Military Institute. But then as now, the college felt the tug of its southern neighbor. With the Mexican Revolution raging just to the south, and General Pershing arriving to reinforce and expand Fort Bliss, the new campus was relocated to a mesa just above El Paso. Even as the first building in the new Bhutanese style was under construction, Pershing's cavalry was riding deep into Mexico in pursuit of the revolutionary leader, Pancho Villa. That first exotic structure, known simply as Maine, sitting alone in the shadow of the Franklin Mountains, symbolized the isolation of the college, 600 miles from the Board of Regents in Austin, but just across the river from Mexico. The pioneering professors and administrators would soon find that the college's isolation would become its strength. Situated as it was in the northern Chihuahua Desert, the School of Mines began welcoming mining engineering students from Mexico, training a new generation of mining professionals, helping support a cross-border extraction industry, and anticipating globalization by more than half a century. Isolation made them not just strong, but innovative. The faculty, from the liberal arts in addition to the hard rock mining sciences, began taking steps in the direction of research as early as the 1930s to dig for new knowledge specific to this unique region, be it in literature, history, culture and folk life, sociology or anthropology, as well as its rocks and minerals, then to impart that knowledge to the students of the Southwest. The surrounding land was, in so many ways, undiscovered country. The new college was the repository and the beneficiary of all that was unearthed, intellectually and physically, along the Mexican border. So students as well as faculty found themselves mining the culture, not just the land, of this diverse region. Decades before the demographic shifts currently challenging the political and social landscape of the United States, the University of Texas at El Paso was on the frontier, quite literally, of the Latin Revolution of American culture. UTEP, the little college among the rocks, has the proud distinction of enrolling more Mexican nationals than any other American university. The new college grew up with the new century and reflected the changes in higher education that took place as one era gave way to the next. After the Second World War, the Texas State School of Mines and Metallurgy evolved into a diverse institution with vibrant departments of English, history, social sciences, languages, and more. So it was natural that the students themselves wanted a college whose name reflected that reality. In 1949, after much debate, the state legislature renamed the school Texas Western College. That change didn't sit well with the engineers of the mining and metallurgy departments, who went so far as to paint a green line down the middle of the campus at the edge of the engineering complex, literally dividing the old from the new. But, as was always the case for this trailblazing institution, there was no turning back the clock. Today, the old School of Mines, renamed a second time in 1967 as the University of Texas at El Paso, is as vibrant as it was a century ago. The university honors its hard rock past with its nickname, the Miners, and its mascot, Pay Dirt Pete, his pickaxe incorporated firmly into the school's logo. Sporting their colors of orange and blue, the university has a proud athletic heritage that goes back to its founding year of 1914, when the Miners football team first took the field. Today, the Miners have a strong Division I football program as part of Conference USA. They play their home game at UTEP Sun Bowl Stadium, the second oldest bowl game in the country and the home of the annual Hyundai Sun Bowl game. The Miners were conference champs in 1956 and 2000. Overall, the sports programs from UTEP have won 21 NCAA Division I national championships in basketball, cross country, and both indoor and outdoor track and field. But UTEP's most memorable athletic achievement involved more than just a final score. March Madness in 1966 meant Miners basketball, and just like every other aspect of this remarkable university's record of achievement, it meant breaking new ground, making history not just on the hardwood, but in the arena of race relations seen all across the United States. The 1966 Miners were an integrated team, not all that common in some regions of the nation, even at the height of the civil rights struggle. The team entered the championship series ranked third in the nation. They entered the NCAA final game with an unprecedented all-African-American starting lineup against the #1 ranked and all-white University of Kentucky Wildcats. In that historic game at College Park, Maryland, the Miners shocked the world when they defeated the vaunted Wildcats 72-65, capturing a national championship for the ages. Basketball and American sports would never quite be the same. The old segregated era gave way to the open-minded inclusiveness that has always been a UTEP hallmark. Now, as a university for the 21st century, UTEP is a leader not only in sports, but in science, engineering, and many other fields, and commands an $80 million yearly research budget. University scientists and top UTEP students can be found testing drug therapies in the Bioscience Research Building, designing and constructing breakthrough medical devices in the College of Engineering, or constantly refining the university's high-performance computer systems. Those first 27 students of a century ago have grown to a yearly enrollment of over 22,000. It is the university's pride that even as they develop cutting-edge projects for aerospace, energy, and defense in the engineering department, its professors pursue the parallel goal of increasing the number of Hispanics in those classes, a demographic historically underrepresented in the engineering and technology fields. The university's alumni have distinguished themselves from NASA to the NFL and NBA, from literature to finance, and from medicine to the Oscars. UTEP has always been proud to break new ground. That should be no surprise for a school that, true to its roots, still has a mine shaft on campus. The university sits on the old El Paso del Norte, meaning the passage north. And hence it's become not just Texas's, but America's gateway. A gateway to the future that leads anywhere hard work, determination, and imagination can take you.